my wife now has watched nearly every episode because of...
Well, yeah, because she found out we were talking about
exactly. She was what we were saying.
What do they say about me?
Yep.
All good things.
However it takes to get views.
Exactly.
All good things.
We'll do what we can.
Yeah, all good things. We obviously are on camera.
Welcome back to our podcast, Redeemed. We finished up Esther in our last one, and so we are moving on to Job. If you ask Siri, that's what
I'll say. Siri calls him Job.
Our son's going to tell me I don't have an iPhone. I've got Android.
Ugh.
iPhone people.
Ugh, Android people.
Don't even get us started on that. We're carrying.
Well, yeah, it's an easy win for us.
How's the Roka app?
What? It's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
Oh, it's not on Android. That's weird.
You don't even globetrot.
La, 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 la. I'm not listening. Not my listening.
I like Job.
Job is an interesting book. I think there's stuff you can learn from every aspect. Yeah. And I know that I say that, you know, from this book we can pull a couple lessons. You know what? The truth is we can pull lessons from any part of the Bible we look at. Yeah. But I think there's some interesting things that we can talk about. So let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. The first being is how the book of Job starts out. And I think it gives us a glimpse into the spiritual realm that we don't normally get to see.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think we may even just kind of forget about it because it's one of those things that unless God removes the blinders from your eyes, you're not going to be able to see it.
Yeah, you have no idea it's happening.
Yeah. And so it gives us this whole interaction between God and Satan as God's holding what seems to be a court. Satan just happens to show up, it kind of sounds like.
Yeah, because it says one day the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. And then the Lord even asked Satan, where have you come from?
Mm-hmm. And I love his answer. Oh, just roaming back and forth throughout the earth.
Going back and forth on it.
Trying to cause trouble. And then they have this whole interaction where they talk about Mr. Job. And I think it's interesting that God even volunteers Job.
He brought him up.
After this, Job must be thinking like, hey, God, maybe we don't.
Yeah.
Maybe no.
Next time, just leave my name out of it.
Yeah.
Please no.
But what we begin to see, though, is that Job was pretty special. That he wasn't just... I mean, he was pretty close to perfect as you can get, per se.
Outside of Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, outside of Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, it says God told Satan, there's no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil.
I mean,
so for God to say that about you, that'd make me feel good.
Real good.
Until he comes back with
until Job has to go
but through it all. The amazing part is Job still holds the line, and because of it, some pretty cool things begin to happen.
Yes.
So
he gets rewarded on the other side.
He does. He
literally goes through hell.
Literally. And they kind of go in sections. That's kind of the interesting part. So first of all, Satan proposes to him that, well, if you take everything away from him, his family, his riches, everything, he said, you've been blessing this man too much, and that's why he is the way he is.
That's why he likes you.
Yeah. You take your hedge of protection around and let me have at him. He's going to curse your name. And so God says, go for it. Yeah, basically you're on.
Try me. Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure, go for it. But he says you cannot touch Job physically. You know what I'm saying?
Cannot lay a finger on him.
Couldn't lay a finger on him. So what does Satan do? Of course, he takes everything, kills all his kids, basically, and Job has nothing.
Yeah. Except for
his wife. His wife is
his wife, who really doesn't. I mean, later on in the book, she's not that great.
No,
she's not very helpful.
No, her one line is pretty much "curse God and die."
Yeah. Like, wow, glad you stuck around here.
So you were here for the blessing. So Satan was right about you.
Yeah. Curse God and die. But
spoiler alert.
In this episode, what I want to pull out is that sometimes I think we forget that there is other things going on that we cannot see. And there's only very few times in the Bible that you actually get to see into it. You know what I'm saying? David saw into it when he saw the angel standing there with the flaming sword at the gate of his city, and it was killing people.
Yep. In 1 Kings talks about that, because in the commentary it references some other examples. Another time in Psalms it says, I don't remember that one. And then Jeremiah.
I don't remember Jeremiah, but I remember Elisha. He was surrounded by an enemy army,
Yep.
and then God removed his. Elisha could see it, his helper couldn't, and God removed the blinders from the helper, and all of a sudden he saw God's army with flaming chariots surrounding the army.
Like, hey, we're doing pretty well, guys.
So there's a reason why Elisha wasn't worried at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then also you kind of get a glimpse in Daniel as well, as Gabriel was trying to bring word to Daniel about something. I can't remember what it was, but he couldn't get to Daniel, and so he was held up. Well, that's because there was a great big battle going on.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I don't know if it was in heaven or somewhere in that spiritual realm, and he couldn't get through until Michael showed up. And then when Michael showed up, everything kind of was over.
Just like that. Because when Michael shows up, things get done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've always said I'd rather see Gabriel than Michael. If Michael ever shows up, things are just
Things are not going well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something about that guy. That's
God's closer.
I want to meet that angel when I get to heaven. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Maybe from a distance.
It's like, dude, there's stories about you.
Yeah. Yeah. Or even actually another spiritual realm one was Balaam and the donkey.
Yep.
The donkey got to see it first.
Yep. Saw the angel standing at the
That's
gate
true.
again.
Uh-huh.
You know? And it's just interesting because, like I said, sometimes I think we go through we should be more in tune to it, I guess, or more aware of it.
Aware of it, yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, I don't think it's something we should be like, oh my goodness, there's a demon behind that bush or something.
I was just saying,
you know what I'm saying?
aware of it with, I don't want to say without looking for it, but without, just aware of it, I guess I would say.
Mm-hmm. But I truly believe that when at night when I pray with my kids, I say, Lord, put a hedge of protection around my kid. That's what I'm talking about, a hedge of protection from.
Yeah.
Because I believe the devil works in ways to kind of, make my kids scared or do whatever. He's trying to trip them up.
Right.
And so I want that hedge of protection because I don't want the devil and his minions or demons to get in. You know what I'm saying?
And we know when God puts up a hedge of protection, it works.
Yep.
Satan even said,
You'll put a hedge around him, and then I can't get to him.
How am I supposed to get to him if you put your hedge around him?
Mm-hmm. And so I think there's something there we need to be aware of. I'm not sure that it's one of those things we should be like frightened about on a daily basis.
Let it consume you.
Yeah, consume you. I like that.
Well, you're never going to really understand it.
Exactly.
Because unless God
reveals
your
the
eyes
blinders.
to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as redeemed Christians, we need to be aware there is something working behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying? That thing where they say angels are riding on your car. Maybe there is an angel riding there. I just don't know it. That's the reason why I haven't gotten as many wrecks.
I was going to say, I'm sure there's a handful of times where there was an angel on my
yeah.
And
car.
they're like, what are you
vehicle.
doing?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so anyway, I just think it's
Slap me on
interesting.
the back of the head.
I think it's a reminder to us that there's something there.
Yes.
And to be honest, it'll be interesting once we make that crossing to see that world, to see that realm.
Yeah. To see it from that, to see it from the spiritual realm almost.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, I just think it's interesting. I don't think there's anything that we should be like only consumed, scared of, not looking for demons behind the next
every bush.
But at some point, we need to understand that our war is not with flesh and blood, but with principalities and powers.
Amen.
And so we need to know there is something else going on, and we need to be praying in such a way that we're fighting that realm as well.
Absolutely.
All right, hang on. We're gonna learn a little bit more about Job. See you next time.